Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing this fine Tuesday evening? Right? It's evening. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to see if I can see. I'm trying to do things a little different on this live stream. I got this little monitor here, and then I got the thing over here. So hopefully I can read everybody's comments and whatnot. And just so everybody knows what this live stream is about, it's a video that I did not too long ago in regards to what is my top survival food if I can only pick one. And we're going to kind of go over what I chose and also what you, the viewers, chose, and kind of go look at people's comments and stuff like that, and just kind of have this conversation in regards to that. And then I also want to add a couple of things as soon as I say hello to some of you folks in chat, something that someone sent to me, and then something we're going to do towards the end of the live stream. So again, welcome everyone, and thank you so much. I see Rena LaRue's here, Randy Brown, Coffee First, Deanna Walters. I know I saw Jan, JT, Amazing Grandma, Bell Prepper, Linda, Andrew, Pony Girl. And folks, I also want to say thank you for all the well wishes that I got. I was supposed to do the live stream last week, and I came down with the flu. Monday and Tuesday was a little rough. But lots of elderberry, lots of ginger, lots of vitamin D and C, rest, all the fun stuff like that. I'm just not one of the people that goes to the hospital very often, and I try to beat everything on my own. I think it just kind of builds my own defenses up, but that's just me personally. Little Lone Prepper, let me see, Night Curry, Never Look Back, Doggone It, love it. Dave Simmons, Mitch, Kevin Groups in the house, Little Miss Prepper, Big Dog. What is up, Big Dog? Seabass. Yeah, elderberry wine, right? Seabass. I was just drinking elderberry syrup. I'm pretty sure the wife would like some elderberry wine. One of these days, we'll work that into there. Once my elderberry plant becomes more mature, and we start garnering elderberries from that, that'll be a plus to have to make that ourselves. And eventually we'll incorporate that into the channel, but that's years down the road, probably. Let me see who else. We got Fluffy Otter in the house. Terry. Let me see. Terry, good to see you. This live chat's moving a little bit faster than I expected it to. Jennifer Cruz, good to see you. William. Who else do we got? Stuart. Did I get you, Stuart? I hope I did. Terry, Raiders in the Wood. Linda Carter, Seabass. I'm backing it up just a hair bit. Thor Haven, good to see you, man. How is it? How is it up north, man? You guys warming up yet? Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm going to back up a little bit, and then I'm going to run it back down. I see Dina, Colleen Rich up there. Nostradamus, love it. Kevin Grip. Oh, man. I always love reading the names in here. And you guys know I picked this up from Rudy a long time ago. Alien Prepper, AP's in the house, the other AP. Richard Moore, K. Paul, and anybody else that I missed. Coffee First. All you wonderful people out there, thanks for joining the live stream. And yes, folks, for some of you folks that are concerned or worried about Rudy, the Alaska Prepper, he's fine, folks. He'll be back soon enough. Here within the next couple of weeks, he'll be back on. He's taking some personal time for himself, and you guys will be happy upon his return. You know what I mean? It'd be like the great return of Rudy. So just bear with it. Sometimes we all need to take a break from YouTube. If you remember the Urban Prepper, he took off, I think, a year. I think he took a year off YouTube and whatnot. So from time to time, we just kind of need a break, or we get sick, or we have family things that we have to deal with, and stuff like that. Hello, Patrick. Good to see you as well. Sean, let me see. Stay away vacation, right? So anyways, real quick, being that Miss Rena LaRue is in the house, I want to say thank you, Rena, for this card. I really appreciate it. I don't know if you want me to read it on air or whatnot, but Lorena wrote, "Congratulations on your new home. This is a home that I obtained back in October. It's a temporary home for a couple of years. We're going to use the equity to buy land. I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with your garden, which hopefully you guys are following me and watch some of the garden videos. The corn is looking good, folks. After I put some stakes in it, because the wind tore up we had some pretty nasty storms that moved through here. The corn took a hit, but I staked some things, and now with that last video that I did on the calcium nitrate, has done a great job. Anyways, she says, thank you. She's continually learning new things. I thought you enjoyed these old postcards. I'll keep my eyes out for some new postcards of the same areas for different views. But thank you, Rena, for the card. I don't know if my camera's going to focus on these, but Rena, these things are really neat, and I'm glad you put them in plastic. These things are like, to me, they're like collectors. I don't know if I'm going to try to put that on the camera there, and I'm hoping that it'll focus on that. And then this is the other one right here. Really neat stuff. This one's dated 1969. And sorry, folks, I am still suffering from a little bit of that post-flu cough, but really neat. Thank you so much, Rena, for that. I love when I receive little things like that in the post office box. It's just very appreciative. What's up, Homesteading? Good to see you. Homesteading DI Dragon Slayer. Good to see you as well. Yoshi's mom. Excuse me. And unfortunately, that's going to be a little part of the live stream. That's why instead of drinking coffee like I usually do, I get this thing filled with water to kind of keep the palate dry. So I don't know if Lori in Oklahoma in here tonight. Lori had reached out to me. Scrap Metal Racing, what's up? And I need to get a bigger monitor so I can see what I'm talking about. See who the name's better. Snark and Substance. Good evening. Water, blah, right? I know. Exiled West, good to see you. But Lori in Oklahoma wanted to do something not only for me, but for you, the community members. She had a lot of extra seeds, and she's like, hey, GreyMan, she has a large batch of seeds, and she wanted me to do, basically, she packaged up these seeds like this. Maybe you guys can see that there. Pretty thick pack of seeds, but there's 10 of these. Tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to give away 5 of these packs. Anybody who's interested, you can participate in the giveaway, and then I'll get these out next week. But this is from Lori in Oklahoma. Just kind of giving back herself to the great community. But yeah, I got 5 of these that I'm going to be giving away tonight. So I want to get that out the way. So just kind of like a little tidbit. If you hang in there towards the end, the max will go is an hour. And so mods, if I get rambling and you see it's like a quarter till or even 20 minutes till, please let me know so that I can get this giveaway done before we end the live stream. Really appreciate this. So if you guys like seeds, I mean, it's all kinds of seeds. I see corn and green beans and peas and carrots and all kinds of stuff like that. So thank you, Lori in Oklahoma, for that. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the viewers will thank you as well. If you happen to catch this now, or if you're in chat, I'm kind of keeping an eye out if I see you. I see Sue is in the house. Good to see you. All right. So in the video that I did, I picked beans as my #1 top survival food. And the reason I picked beans was for several reasons. Now, some people put in the comment section actually came out with some great ideas and said why they like beans, but they prefer canned beans. Because canned beans, you can just open up the can and eat them right out the can if you had to, if you had no way to heat them, if you had no way to cook them, and so on and so forth. And I was like, excellent point. I said, I myself do stock canned beans. I like my frijoles negros, as they're called, black beans, but I also do pinto beans, kidney beans, and the list goes on. I think we should all stock beans. And I went over why I thought beans were very important. And remember, if you remember the last live stream that I did, I said I want to start doing interactive videos involving you, the viewers, because I feel that these live stream, or the videos that I'm doing, instead of me rambling off the top 10 foods or the top 10 herbs or the top 10 this, I'm going to name one and then have my viewers kind of fill out that list in the comment section and interact with each other so that anybody in the future, as long as my channel's around, they'd be able to refer back to that video, read the comments, and get a lot more knowledge than just what I'm regurgitating here on YouTube. They get knowledge from all of you, the community members. So this is why you'll see more of these videos, and we'll be discussing more of these down the road. I wanted to do something that involved not only myself, but you, the community, in creating a list of #1 survival foods. And I wanted everybody to choose one. Some people went a little above and beyond and chose several, but it was a great thing. And we had tons and tons of comments, a lot of interaction, which was awesome. I hope if you haven't seen it yet, you should go check it out and drop your comment in there. But all in all, it was a success. So I'm going to continue to do that. I'm going to be working on medicinal herbs. What's my #1 of this, my #1 that, and we'll touch on that. So anyways, back to me. The beans. And if I'm missing any chat, I do apologize. I'm trying to focus on the camera and look at you guys, or virtually look at you folks. And I chose like dry beans. And the reason I chose dry beans I like the fact that dry beans have such a long storage life. You can take a 5-gallon bucket if you want and just throw them in there with a couple O2 absorbers. The health benefits of beans, the protein content of beans, the cost of beans, and the fact that you can take beans, dry beans, and you can plant those beans and create more beans. So it's like that that perpetual situation of food. So even though I like the aspect of some folks, they like canned beans because they said, well, Grey, what about if you don't have access to water? And I said, no, that's a great point. One thing that we always need to focus on with anything, especially our freeze-dried foods and just general cooking, is water. It's that whole three scenario, the rules of 3, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without, 3 minutes without air. No, that's not 3 minutes. I'm probably getting it all wrong. I think it's a lot longer than 3 seconds. I think it is 3 minutes without air and you're dead. And then I think it's 3 days without water, you're dead. And then, just the probabilities of death is a lot there. And then 3 weeks without food, and the list goes on. My apologies if I messed it up a little bit. But anyways, so yeah, water is a must in a lot of our situations in our preps. So outside of storing tons and tons of water, having a proper water filtration system is probably more of a key thing, because also you can boil water if you have natural places to haul water from. But if you have all the different ways that you can pull water out, like some people have large water heaters where they can pull water out of that. Some people have pools. A lot of people who have pools here in Florida, you know that you can take a 5-gallon bucket, fill that bucket up with water. You let the sun beat down on that bucket and it evaporates the chlorine from that, and you can drink from that. But anyways, having proper water filtration and water filters, a lot of you folks have Berkeys out there, Sawyer Minis, and the list goes on, the Geo presses and whatnot. So yes, water is important. And if, like I said, if you don't have any of that, you can make your own sand water filter. You can do a lot of different things with that. There's something that I want to go over in a future video of this new thing that they've been giving out. It's kind of a water purification tablet that they use in Africa, and it's pretty effective and affordable. But I want to do a review on that because I found it by trying to figure out what do they do to people that don't have access to clean water, and I kind of stumbled upon that. Anyways, let me see what we got here. What's up, East Tennessee? 3 seconds without hope. 3 seconds without hope. I think it's East Tennessee. I think it's 3. Is it 3 months without hope? Is it 3 months and you don't have hope? You kind of give up. If I'm reading that right, I'm like Rudy. I do need to wear glasses, but I hate wearing glasses because of the camera and the glare and whatnot. But anyways, let me see here. Just kind of make sure I didn't miss anything. Big Berkey and Life Straws. Thank you, East Tennessee. And like I said, folks, there's all different types of water filters out there, from the affordable to the very pricey. Get what you can. You know what I mean? On your budget, get what you can, because it's better to have some sort of form of water filtration than not have it at all, especially when needed, because when an emergency arises, you might not have the accessibility to run out and get things to build a water filter. You might not have the things in your home. So please have those on hand. Even the simple water purification tablets that you can get, I think they're the Coleman's or whatever they are, you can find at any Walmart or order them on Amazon, whatever is going to be convenient for you. But water is huge. What's up, Okie Khan? Good to see you as well. Yeah, East Tennessee, have you met Hope? Yeah, I hear you. Speaking of which, I got a weird comment the other day. It wasn't a comment, it's more of an email that I received. And they said, hey, Grey, I noticed you don't really talk about politics a lot, or all the troubles that are going on in the world today between, Russia and China and the geopolitical realm that we live in, and what's going on in Washington, and all the, bad mouthing of each other, this and that. Well, here's how I'm looking at it currently is, what can I really truly do about that? Right. If things happen overseas, it's best to be in the know and have that knowledge base. But I feel that there's enough people out there that probably you can gather that information from. I use all different types of formats to gather news from some YouTube channels that I watch, but also Twitter feeds, Telegram, and a bunch of other little things that I can get information from in regards to news. But all in all, I feel that my main concern for my channel and myself is doing what I can do, which is prep, get things in order. You know what I mean? Work on the things that I have control over. So other than always consistently worrying about the negativity in the world, because eventually it's going to come to your doorstep and then you're going to have to deal with it. And I hope that by advice or by that, what's the word I'm looking for? But hopefully you guys get what I'm saying, is that I'm hoping everybody's focusing on what's important, food and shelter, water, your finances, things like that you should be worried about outside of the political realm of things. Like some people say, well, Grey, what about if China and Russia get together and they do all this stuff, and Iran and North Korea? If it happens, it happens, folks. But the most thing that you need to focus on is prepping, because if that does happen, it's all going to fall back on you. We all know that the government's not going to come and save us. Anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. My cot. Let me see. Can't fast. I'm constantly hungry. I graze all day long. Good to see you, Wink. Good to see you. Good to see you as well, Tori. I'm paying down my debt and increasing my credit. That's awesome, Sean. Hey, Billy. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you, my friend. I have a rooster pecking at my feet right now. That's great, Okikon. Speaking of which, another thing that I'm doing in my own personal area here where I live is I've been going to the local farmers market where local farmers bring their produce. They bring the things that they make. Sometimes it's honey, sometimes it's elderberry syrup, produce, plants, eggs. The list goes on, because I'm trying to build a community within a community by making friends with these folks and offering them things, kind of like a little barter thing, and having conversation with them and building these relationships, because these are the people that I'm going to be counting on, possibly if things were to ever really, really go south. Plus, it's nice to meet these people that have the same mindset in the mind of, trying to become as self-sufficient as possible and not depending on your local grocers. Sorry, I'm just taking in France, trying to happy prepping from Wisconsin. What's up, Rika? The chat is, I have a 5-second delay and the chat's still moving fast. Thank you, Linda. So anyways, folks, so back to the topic about the survival foods, because I usually get sidetracked, you know what I mean? As always. And you see Southern Roots, Alaskan Branches. Good to see you. Dogs, Jan, your dogs are always barking, Jan. So anyways, let me add this to the stream. Excuse me. And for some of you folks that might be joining a little bit late, stay tuned to the end. We're going to be giving a little something away. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can see that. Willow Moonhaven wrote things about a diabetic perspective for survival foods. For some of you diabetics out there, it was just a great food for thought, as she put it. If you could see, Eric up there said salmon is one of the most densely packed nutritious foods in the world. Let me see, who else do we have? Beans. Randy Brown says beans. 4 types: red, white, pinto, black. What else do you got? Rice, cornmeal, pasta, wheat, Mountain House, Augustin's Farms, and so on and so forth. Linda Bopp wrote, I like beans for the same reasons you do, Grey. Also rice, potatoes, dehydrated or flakes for mashed, and pasta, fruits and vegetables for those vitamins and minerals, and so on and so forth. Let's see who we have next here. Bouncing around a little bit. Old Man Preparedness says, I love to prep and store hard wheat personally. Beans are definitely on my list as well, Grey. Great idea for a video. Thanks, Old Man Preparedness. I'm an old man myself. And Montana Living says, beans, rice, oats, cornmeal, salt, sugar, flour, wheat berries. And I'm assuming everybody knows what wheat berries are. You get the hard red wheat and the hard white wheat berries. It's something that you can kind of turn into if you have a little mill. You can do a hand mill but that's a little bit more complex. Or some of you might have an electric mill, but that's how you're going to make your wheat, and you can make breads and stuff like that. It's just that it stores very well. Let me see. What else do we have? Lisa Bibby says, great topic, Grey. I have beans, rice, canned goods, etc. But after storing up on the basics, I have been buying freeze-dried foods. Let me see. Excuse me. Let me see. Desert Aurora caught the Charlie Victor after avoiding it for 2 years in mid-November and was sick until mid-January. And basically, they used their preps to get through that 3 months and learned a lot in those 3 months. Let me see. Jen also tagged in here, says, I think having a wide variety of food is most important. A well-balanced diet with a wide variety of seasonings is most important. And apply, what was it? Not only for health and benefits, but to prevent food fatigue. And that being said, I want to touch on food fatigue real fast because some people think food fatigue is not real, but it is. And some people say, well, if you're starving, you'll eat anything. And I'm pretty sure that can be factual as well. But if you're going to be in a survival situation or whatnot, or just even day-to-day life, I don't know how many of you folks just like to eat rice and beans every single day. It'll fill you up and give you some energy and kind of fill that void. Excuse me. It'll fill that void and give you sustenance. But do you want to do that all the time? So like Jan said, and others, you want to kind of mix things up a little bit. Maybe you want to take some canned tuna fish and mix it in with some rice, and mix your proteins up, you know what I mean? Or, add some bouillon or some different spices and whatnot to whatever you're cooking. And that being said, another person came up with another one and said, what about your garden, Grey? Do you consider that a survival food? And yes, my things in my garden, I grow certain things in my garden that I enjoy consuming and that I enjoy adding. A lot of things that you can grow in your garden very easily are your herbs and spices. You know what I mean? Growing things like cilantro and, leeks and chives and basil and all that stuff like that is very, very easy to grow. So you can have that. And if you don't want to do it outside, people do it on their windowsill or their back patio or their porch. So if you want to add a little bit more spices, and then of course, my biggest thing is if you have a garden where you get your fresh produce out of, is knowing how to preserve that longer outside of taking your fresh fruits and stuff. Let's say you get your tomatoes, right? And you have a great harvest of tomatoes, more than you can consume outside of giving them away. Because of course, if it's a bad scenario, you're trying to feed your family and keep your family going, and you don't want to give your stuff away. Do you know how to can those tomatoes? You know what I mean? Do you well, however you prefer? Do you want to make tomato paste out of it? Some people will dehydrate and make tomato powder out of it. People do a lot of different things. Exactly the same with the peppers, and the list goes on. That's what I really like about my sweet potatoes, is because with sweet potatoes, once I harvest my sweet potatoes, and they're very nutrient dense as well, I take the sweet potatoes and I put them in a basket. And matter of fact, I'm going to do a pantry update here soon. I've done a lot of work in the pantry, and I got a big prepper pantry haul that I want to share with you folks as well. But I have sweet potatoes and yams and stuff like that. Even my seed potatoes in the pantry, because it's a cool, dark place. And I have sweet potatoes from a year ago that are still fine. Some of them have sprouted a little bit, you know what I mean? But they're still edible. So also your winter squashes and stuff like that. I always think about like things that I could use for the long haul. And I'm assuming a lot of us folks are, like I said, most of us here are like-minded, and we think the same way. Like I said, this year, I'm getting really excited to share. I hope the corn works out for me, because so far they look, I call them the girls, and they're starting to get all nice and big and fluffy. And, I think they're about 8 inches now, at least most of them. Some of them are a little smaller, they're taking their sweet time growing. But someone said, why are you growing corn? Well, for different reasons. It's just an experiment for myself. Because I'm growing corn, but a lot of you folks know that I'm doing the Three Sisters in that bed. And we're about to plant the beans next week. That's when I'm going to drop the beans in. And the week after that, we're going to be doing the Seminole pumpkins, which is another great squash to grow, especially here in Florida. hence the name Seminole pumpkins, Seminole Indians. It's one of those things that have been around for quite some time, kind of tried and true. And it's just going to be fun to grow those pumpkins and then turn those into pumpkin pie for the fall. When I have my hand at trying to, start with a seed, grow it into the plant that it is, have it survive, beat the pests back, harvest that produce, that pumpkin specifically, and that turn that pumpkin into something to eat. Some people ask me, what does Seminole pumpkins taste like? And they almost have like a butternut squash taste to them. They're not like as orange as your normal like jack-o'-lantern pumpkins and some of your other pumpkin varieties. They get about so big, maybe about the size of a bowling ball. They have more of a yellowish kind of goldish color to them. But they do make great for pumpkin pie. And I'm a sucker for pumpkin pie. I'm kind of staring at my chat real quick. Let me see here. Eating because you have to. It's not the same as eating because you want to. Food fatigue is real. Rice and beans get old after a few days. And Billy, you're absolutely right. And me and Billy have some similarities. Billy is Cuban as well, and I'm Cuban as well. Billy is Cuban and I am Cuban. So we were kind of grown up. I grew up in a very poor family, and that staple was rice and beans. It was rice and beans most of the time to keep all of our bellies, filled. And my grandpa was a Cuban chef who came over from Cuba and kind of showed me some of his ways when I was a little young, a little short, little spurt, you know what I mean? And I would watch my grandpa cook, and he would always explain to me what he's doing and all the different spices he was adding. He would take a dish that would seem plain and make it into really something nice. Kind of bouncing back to the food fatigue thing is, yes, if you're starving, you'll probably eat anything and continually to eat it to live. But why not? Remember the old saying, why just survive when you can thrive? So having a variety, like some of the folks in the comment section said, is key. There can't just be one survival food. You know what I mean? I just decided to pick beans out of that. Some folks picked rice. Some folks picked corns, wheat berries. There was a lot of different types of foods that people suggested. Sardines, canned salmon, of course, your spices, your soups, your canned meats, be it your sloppy Joe mixes, some of your, the tamales, anything to kind of spice things up. You know what I mean? Canned goods. And a lot of people who are new to prepping don't understand that canned goods last way beyond their date. And if you look in the FDA, a lot of people know that canned goods can almost last indefinitely. Of course, whenever you're opening a canned good way past its best buy date, and that's what I call it. I don't call it a expiration date. It's more of a best buy date. You kind of look for the signs, you know what I mean? And the signs are stuff like your dented cans. So let's say I order me some Keystone meats, right? And I get a couple cans that are dented. So I'll pull those to the front of the pantry. I'll let the wife and my daughter know, hey, pull these cans and use these first. Just because the integrity of the can has been compromised, and we need to use that first. Regardless of what the date is on there, we need to use it immediately because all the other cans that are in good shape, I know those are going to be good for quite some time. So the dented cans thing, and a lot of people are familiar with that. There's a couple other things that you can do, you know what I mean? Like you have to kind of gauge sometimes with canned goods, like things that have a very acidic nature to them, like tomatoes, sauces, and pastes and stuff like that, can eventually kind of eat its way through that can. But believe it or not, there's a lining in a lot of cans these days, plastic lining. And a lot of people say, oh my God, it has plastic in it. You can't eat, you're going to get BPAs and all that stuff like that. Folks, if you're starving, I don't care what's inside that can. If it's good, you're going to eat it, right? Some people don't like Spam. My daughter loves Spam. She'll eat Spam all the time. She wants Spam burgers and Spam this, Spam for breakfast, Spam and eggs. She loves Spam. I'm not a big fan of Spam, but when she cooks it, I'll eat it. You know what I mean? Because it's something that, stores well. You know what I mean? It's like that potted meat stuff, But anyways, if you ever open up a can, and it looks funny, or if it smells funny, then it probably might not be good unless it's meant to be smell funny, which is like your sardines, that kind of has an odor to them. But if you really want to think about nutrition wise, just kind of do your research and find what some of the most nutritious canned foods are. Excuse me. And like folks said, your sardines are packed with nutrition. Your any of your tunas, specifically certain types of tuna, are packed with nutrition. Your salmons, and any of your canned meats, because protein is a huge thing. We can't grow protein. I mean, technically we can with the beans and stuff like that, but some of your more, some people say, well, I'm just going to go hunt and get some deer and stuff. And we all know the consequences to that, because everything will be hunted to extinction pretty much. I mean, look what happened in the Great Depression. Squirrels, cats, dogs, everything that could possibly go missing went missing. You know what I mean? Because people were desperate. And if you know that the economy that we're living in now, I haven't found, and this is the cheapest eggs that I could find at my local grocer is about $5. And those are the eggs that used to be like 89 cents. So eggs are like a hot commodity, you know what I mean? And people who have chickens are lucky. And that's why I have multiple friends that have chickens, because currently I can't have chickens. Someone said I could probably get some chickens and give them names and say that they're pets, which is a great idea, but I don't want to poke the bear. I don't want to draw attention to myself. But knowing the right people with chickens gets you some good eggs. I'm paying $3 a dozen for farm from farm eggs, from here, local farmers around here. $3 a dozen is cheap, folks. If you bought eggs anytime soon. I just made friends with these people. They sell those eggs to other people for $6, $7 a dozen. But that's what's about building relationships when it comes to that connections with people in your neighborhood and in your community outside of just our virtual community here on YouTube. Let me see. Andrew said, I'm gonna figure out something else to do this better. Andrew says, GreyMan, did you say that we ain't Chinese? No, I didn't, Andrew. Does it sound like I say that? Maybe I still have a fever. I don't know. We ain't Chinese. That's great. Oh, hold on. Never mind. I read that wrong. See, I'm gonna have to start wearing glasses. I'm gonna have to get a bigger screen. Usually I use the big screen behind me, but I have something else on that screen right now. It says, GreyMan, did you say cat? We ain't Chinese. Well, Andrew, no, I'm not saying to go out and eat some cats. But if you look at history, and specifically other countries, you'll know that things like that have happened in the past. Your little friends disappear. Hey, Rainy Steps, good to see you. And thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate that. Every little penny helps in the channel, and I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Doggone it says, I give my eggs away. I have so many already. Water glass. And that's awesome, doggone it. And that's very kind of you. And I bet you the people that you give those eggs away to are very, very appreciative of that. Because anytime I receive things for free, let's say like these seeds that we're going to be giving away, it means a lot to me because someone is giving away from their stock, right? But even if you have lots of eggs, some people have told me, freeze dry your eggs. I don't have a freeze dryer, so I buy a lot of freeze dried eggs. But people say you can dehydrate your eggs, you can freeze eggs, and so on and so forth, in a deep freezer. And then make sure if you're going to do that, you have power to do so, because of course, no power, you lose everything. So that's why I'm a firm believer in these power stations. Yes, I do lots of reviews on power stations because if they're going to keep on giving them to me, I'm going to do reviews on them so that I can have a power station for every one of my appliances, right? I guess the benefits to having a channel, right? Speaking of power stations, I got one I'm going to be doing a review on next week. And on the next live stream that we do, stay tuned to that one. I forget the company's name. I think it's only a 500 water, or maybe it's a 600. I don't know. I forget I have so many that I got to do reviews on. But they gave me a second one to give away to my viewers. So I know I have a review video coming out here the next day or so. That's not the one, but it's one next week that'll be dropping. And so I'm going to be giving one of the way, and I'll mention that towards the end of the video. I like to save that till the end, like a little Easter egg, because people will watch the beginning of your video and like, oh, he talks too much, and they click off, and then they lose vital information And sometimes they lose out on giveaways as well. What's up, Alan? Good to see you. Where are we at on time? We are at 35 minutes. Okay. I just want to make sure we're doing all right. We're doing all right. I wanted to, let me see here, a couple other things that I saw in the chat. Let me bring this back up. Let me see. We got JRC Holmes says, I prefer rice as a basis for most recipes. However, beans can be more than just in a pot. You can sprout them and plant them. Good for you and your animals. Rice and beans makes the perfect protein. Thank you, JRC. I'm glad some of us agree on that, right? Stewart's Prepping said, my go-to food preps are rice and beans. And see, a lot of us have that same mindset. Yoshi's mom says, beans, rice, spices, and canned meats. Why? Because according to my husband, I can't go 1 week without eating my rice and beans. P.S. Love all types of beans, but my faves are black, pinto, pink, red kidney beans, white, etc. And thank you, Yoshi. I think I seen you in chat. Ruth Smith said, mine is pasta because I love it. I can also forage and grow things to go with it. That's awesome, Ruth. And yes, foraging is another, what's the word I'm looking for? Another skill set that everyone should have. Knowing what you have in the area that you live in. You know, like I know I can go out and get heart of palm. I know I can get wild onions, muscadine grapes. Florida has a lot of things that grow wild in it. You just got to know how to look for it, where to find it at. And I'm going to talk about that in a video here. I'm going to be doing a bug out bag update 2023. And it's more than just a bug out bag. I'm going to go a little bit more detailed into that. But in regards to my my mapping and stuff like that I use, that I keep in my bag, I have things marked on a map where I find certain things for certain edibles when I'm on my hikes. When I find certain water resources, I just mark things down on that map. Now, I'm probably not going to show the map specifically on the channel. I'm going to probably put a different map in there because I don't want to give away all my secrets, right? But all in all, I think everyone, folks, I'm going to tell you, it's a lot harder to find paper maps of your area than you would think it is. When I remember about a year or so ago, when I went on the hunt for paper maps, I remember where you can go to a gas station and just find a paper map. Topo maps, a lot more harder. You're going to get them online. You're going to pay a premium for those. But I suggest everybody have several iterations of paper maps, not only of your area in general, but other places that you might have to go to, and learning those maps. And if you do go on hikes or walks, mark that map with your resources so that you always can kind of, in case you forget something, you can always reference that map and have those resources accessible to you and your family or your group or whoever it may be that needs to have that resource. All right, moving on here. We got Hillsong said, okay, my most important prep is rum and cigars. Oh, man. But food-wise, my best stock are lentils, black beans, chickpeas, a great substitute for meat that offers nearly as much protein while easy to store long-term. With a few spices, very versatile. The rum is for dessert. Love it, Hillsong. And I agree. Chickpeas is a great one. I love hummus. I don't know how many of you guys like hummus. I like hummus. And hummus is from chickpeas. I'm assuming most folks know that. And yes, adding some red peppers in there and some garlic and some other spices. Man, that's some good stuff. Love chickpeas. Sharon says, I like having beans and rice, oats, and different types of potatoes, dehydrated, freeze-dried, canned, and frozen. Speaking of which, believe it or not, folks, we just had some Keystone beef, some canned potatoes, and some herbs and spices and some peppers out of the garden because I had to cut some peppers off because they're early bloomers per se. So we kind of ate a survival-ish kind of dinner the other night, and it tasted great. The wife's good at throwing things together and making it taste awesome. Let me see here. I'm looking for a good long-term shortage of bread mix. So if anybody has a idea for long-term, why can't I speak, Gray? Long-term storage of bread mixes. I've been trying different brands, and I hate when I have tried today and I have a few cans of it, which smells old. Thanks for posting. So Sharon's looking for a long-term storage thing of bread. Now, for me, that goes back to the corn that I'm growing. Because if I can grow corn, Then I'm going to try to grow wheat as well. I want to push myself as a gardener to try to grow as much as possible when it comes to certain things, but you can turn corn. If you grow like the hard corn, like your not the sweet corn, but the opposite of sweet corn, you know what I mean? And you can turn that into a cornmeal, and you can make cornbread out of that. But like I said, that's why a lot of people store the wheat berries to make breads and stuff like that. And Sharon, that would probably be my best bet to you is look into the hard wheat berries. You get the red and the white because and learn how to take that and turn it into bread. You know what I mean? Basically, someone said in one of the comments, they said basically having the components to create food. You know, the basic components, you know, your salt, your yeast, your grains and stuff like that to make food. Because you can make pasta from scratch. You can make bread from scratch. You can make a lot of things from scratch. So having those components stored, because usually the components to food stores a lot longer than some food in general, because when you buy bread at the store, unless you freeze it and get that a little bit longer, but if you were to make bread from the things that you store in your preps, it'll go a lot farther and a lot longer, and it's a lot cheaper. All right, I want to go over one more of these here of the comment section. Let me see. Lentils, they are right behind red meat for protein and easy to store. Sauerkraut and tomatoes for vitamin C. Thanks, Jack. Randy says, great video, man. My most important food is beans and rice. Let me see. Joyce said, let me see what Joyce did say. Stores besides rice and beans. Garden seeds for produce and for herbs and spices. We can store-bought foods until we're turning purple. But if we cannot replenish them, then we are up the creek without a paddle. Agree, Joyce. If you have the land, you can plant 1 acre of wheat. This will last a family of 4 for a year. Masa, which is corn, field corn, and that's what I meant to say, field corn. Thank you for clarifying that with Joyce. For commercial, I only stock up on herbs and spices that I cannot grow each year, like paprika. But I did find the seeds for this pepper or spices I need for tropical climates. This helps save storage space for herbs and spices I grow and preserve. And that's great that you preserve your spices as well. Joyce. Tia says, okay, from my understanding, beans and rice together provide you with a complete protein. Again, my understanding of dry beans needs to be soaked in water, and if water shortage is a problem, canned beans may be good to have on hand. If I've been misinformed, I am ready to learn. And I had a conversation with that and explained to Tia the difference between canned beans and why I like certain beans. And she was right on the money with the whole water scenario, which we discussed earlier. Let me see. J Beach Bob says, great vid. Prepping for a few years. Yes, rice and beans, canned soups, shelf-stable milk. That's another one that some people forget. Shelf-stable milk is great, especially if you're like me and you want to have some sort of cereal, or if you want to have some sort of base for cooking things. Milk, I like milk, you know what I mean? And milk is one of the kind of like easy things to kind of do. You guys have seen the types of milk that I've stored. Maybe I'll touch on that in the prepper pantry video that I'm going to do here again. PB&J, baking goods, canned fruits, and canned meats. However, have been increasing my freeze-dried stock, and I've noticed a lot of people have been increasing their freeze-dried stocks. Here's what I like about freeze-dried foods, to be honest with you folks, is when it comes to freeze-dried foods, it's one of those you can, and hopefully, I would say buy a little extra and taste it to make sure that you like it before you put too much money into it. But it's one of those things that you can put up and kind of forget it. You know what I mean? On most things, on most freeze-dried foods. Make sure that you pay attention to your freeze-dried foods, because some are only 5, 10, 15 years. Not everything is 25 to 30 years. So make sure you're aware when you're putting things up. Maybe you should separate your 25 years for your 10 years and your 5 years, because some things won't last as long. But yes, I noticed a lot of people getting deeper and deeper into the freeze-dried food market. And folks, I love nutrient survival. It's some of the most nutrient-dense food there possibly is. And some people say, well, it costs too much. Well, get the deals when they have things on sale. Food in general costs a lot of money, but just think about what you're getting out of that can. All right. Erica says, I'm going to have to go with, and I always say this word wrong. Is it pemmican. Do I say that right, folks? Pemmican. As well, when looking at the nutritional profile, but they are so expensive. I need to learn how to make my own. And lots of 22s, pew-pews and freedom seeds and whatnot, and traps. If small game is your thing, it's not the food, but it does bring food. It's not food, but if it does bring foods. Hopefully I'm reading that right, Erica. Anyways, and then we got Minuteman down here. I don't depend on just one food. And I don't think anybody should depend on one food. I have multiple types of beans, but also rice, wheat, berries, pastas, all kinds of canned foods. Another item to stock up on is powdered gravy mixes. Good point, Minuteman. Gravy mixes, if you have potatoes, if you're growing potatoes, maybe you want some gravy with that, right? Rice with brown gravy or chicken gravy. Add in a can of beef or chicken and meat, and you have a meal for a family. Homemade biscuits or bread with the white gravy. I'm a fan of biscuits and gravy. And again, add in a can of meat and feed your family, and so on and so forth. So that's some more of the comment sections. Let me see. Hey, Chris Marie, Beaverines. Yes, Gray, you said, thank you. Me too. I appreciate that. I'm glad I got that correct. I have a bad habit of messing up words. My wife loves to correct me. She'll watch one of my videos and say, you said that wrong. You don't pronounce it that way. And I'm like, well, why don't you become my editor? Because I'm always going to get it wrong. But most folks get the understanding of the gist of what I'm trying to say. All right, where are we at on time? 47 minutes. I'm assuming my mods probably tried to grab my attention. But we need to do this giveaway, folks. We need to do this giveaway. That being said, does anybody need some seeds? Does anybody want to win some seeds tonight? I'm going to give away 5 of these seed packs. And I'm not giving away, but Lori in Oklahoma sent these to the channel. She sent 10 bags. We're going to give away 5 tonight. And on the next live stream, we're going to give away another 5. So these seeds here, and they're packed. They're packed. Whoever wins, you know where you got to send the email to. So let me put all that information up and get this ready to go. Where is my banners? All right, so let's throw that up on the screen. That's where winners are going to send whoever wins. I'm going to draw 5 people. And then everybody's like, Gray, well, how do we do this? Well, I'm going to show you. And it's very simple, folks, like we always do. Let's pull this up. All right, so if you want to win some seeds, type in the word seeds, all caps, S-E-E-D-S, all caps, seeds, all caps, folks. And we're going to draw 5 times. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start collecting while you guys type seeds frantically. And this is for anybody that could use some seeds or just wants to store the seeds. But thank you, Lori in Oklahoma, for sending this to me for the great community. Many blessings to you and your family. So I'm going to make this a little different here because I feel like I'm too small sometimes. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to ramble on for a little bit longer. If you haven't hit that thumbs up button, please do so. It always feels like you're begging for thumbs ups, right? But I've been reading a lot about the thumbs up button and thumbs down. It doesn't really matter what people hit or do. But for some reason, YouTube really likes it when you do that call to action. When you tell your folks to hit that thumbs up button and they do, YouTube really likes that. And it says, hey, that's a great video. Let's kind of push it more. Even if you got 1,000 thumbs down, YouTube will still push that video. And folks, a lot of you don't get notifications when I go live. Sometimes you don't get notifications of videos I've done in the past and whatnot. Hey, McBean. 4th and goal. Simple are us. And I thank you all for joining me on this live stream. I appreciate everyone being here and hitting that thumbs up button is always appreciated. And like I said, I love to give away stuff. And when people send me stuff to give away, it's funny. And Lori said, she tried to reach out to several other different content creators and they wouldn't do it. And I was like, why? And I'm assuming because they don't want to pay for shipping. Well, to me, that doesn't matter. Like I said, all the money that I ever garner off YouTube, I just put back into the channel and use it for my community, which is you folks. So any money that I ever make from YouTube, the measly $100 that I might get from YouTube a month, from the ad revenue, I just throw it into whatever I can for equipment or for postage and whatnot, the P.O Box, stuff like that. That's what I do with a lot of that. And all of you members, if you guys ever wonder where the couple of bucks that you guys do to be that you're members, that money just goes back into the channel and goes into giveaways. And this December, speaking of which, it's far away. Christmas is far away. But now that I don't have to worry about the house and I got all those finances out of the way, we're going to do a big giveaway this December. I got some really cool stuff. Basically, I'm buying things now for this major giveaway. And it's not going to be small stuff. We're going to give away some pretty nice stuff this December. I'm taking a page right out of Alaska Prepper. He's the one that's taught me that it's always great to give back to the community because I get plenty of stuff from all these affiliate partners from EcoFlow and Jackery and EBL and Redivis and Baofeng and all these other. There's just tons and tons of company that always send me stuff. Doggone it. I appreciate that. This will pay for some of the postage. I appreciate the super chat. Doggone it. Really appreciate the support. But that's my gift to me is the reviews I do, all the free stuff that I get, it saves me money on having to buy preps for myself. So any of the money, if you want to call it money, what, like the super chat, super stickers, memberships, the applause and all that, anything that's financial that YouTube sends me on the 21st, I think the 21st to 22nd every month, I put that in an account for specifically for giveaways and postage and things like that for the community. All right. How many? We have 80 entries in. Let's see here. Let me make this bigger again. See, I don't want to mess that up. So let's do that. Anybody else want to have a gander at the 81? There's someone else. And we're going to draw 5 times. And like I said, whoever wins, please send an email to me where you want it sent. Please, if you want to use your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your handle on YouTube, that's fine, or a first name. If you don't have to give me your information, but just let me know if you want to send it to a P.O Box, an address, wherever you want it sent to, you just let me know. I keep all that stuff private. It never leaves my little encrypted file for giveaways. And believe it or not, yes, I do encrypt it. I'm a very private person. So I feel that your information that you send me for giveaways should be private as well. Unless someone tells me, hey, have them send this, tell this person to send me something. Unless I have permission. All right, we have 83 entries total. I'm going to go ahead and draw the first one now. So let's go ahead and draw. If I get my mouse over there, there's 84. Let's see who our first winner is tonight. A lot of great names in chat this evening. JRC Homestead. All right. You got some seeds coming your way, JRC. And JRC, I probably know I got you somewhere, but if you can just send it to the Grey's giveaways at gmail.com down there on the bottom of the screen, just to kind of refresh my memory in case you might have moved or something. Please let me know where to send it, JRC. So that's one. All right, we got, like I said, we got 4 more to go. And I love seeds. Here's how I look at seeds, folks. And I know I'm rambling a little bit and you guys probably want to go home or, call it a night, but seeds are the gift that gives on the seeds are a gift that is the gift that keeps on giving. Because once you plant them and you harvest them or you let things go to seed, you can keep that perpetuation going. So you can see how, like, say you grow beans one year with some of the, let's say you get these peas right here, right? You get these peas, you grow some peas, and then you use some of the same peas to grow more and more and more. So that's why I think seeds are a great giveaway. Anyways, let's draw again. We have 86 entries. Let's draw again for our second winner. I wish I had like a drum roll like Becky does, and like all the little buttons they push. That would be awesome. Snark and Substances. All right. There you go, Snark and Substances. You got yourself a seed pack that'll be coming your way. Congratulations. Truly appreciate you participating in this giveaway. Thank you so much. And like I said, Grey's giveaways at gmail.com. All right. let's draw again because I know we're almost at an hour. We got 5 minutes left. Let's go for our third winner. Rena LaRue. What's up, Rena? All right, Rena, there you go. You got yourself some seeds coming your way, Rena. And again, this is all thanks to Lori in Oklahoma. So if you see Lori in chat on any of the live streams or any of the comment sections or anything like that, tell her thank you so much for being so kind and giving this to us to do or giving it to me to give a giveaway to the community. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Lori. I don't know how I can thank you so many times, Lori. I just really appreciate it. All right, let's go for our fourth drawing. Let's see who our fourth winner is tonight. Hey, what's up, South Florida? Sarah Moret is our fourth winner of the night. Thank you, Sarah, for participating. I truly appreciate that, and congratulations. So, Sarah, you got yourself some seeds. And I saw South Florida scrolling by. South Florida is like a neighbor. He lives in the same area that I live in, kind of like JT and several other folks in there, and Jeff and whatnot. We all kind of live in the same realm of things. So if things ever go really, really bad, those are going to be some of the people that I will help support in my area. Having some sort of support structure is always going to be beneficial, right? All right. So last but not least, let's pull one more for the giveaway before everybody disappears on me, because it is almost 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right. Number five. Who do we got? And you can only win once, folks. Minuteman 69. Minuteman has been trying to win a giveaway probably since I started YouTube 2.5 years ago. It's been about 2 years and 3 months or something like that. But Minuteman, you won something. I don't know if you've ever won before, man, but I'm glad you won something. So Minuteman, please send me your info, brother, so I can get these seeds to you, man. Congratulations, brother. I'm finally glad. I used to always be entertained by when you would put, I forget what you put in the comment section, but you're always putting something in there. Truly appreciate that. Minuteman has been around for quite some time. Thank you so much, brother, for all the support that you've given me throughout the years. Congratulations. And I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this. Now, remember, folks, on the next live stream, I'm going to be giving away 5 more. I don't know if we're going to do it this Tuesday. I'd like to do another live stream before the end of the month. And I need to give away that power station that I'm going to do a review on. So we might do a double giveaway. We might do 5 seed packets giveaway and the power station giveaway all in the same live stream. So stay tuned. Keep an eye out for that. When it comes to giveaways, I like to be a little bit secretive sometimes. Go in the description. You might want to read the description and whatnot. So please pay attention, because usually I'll sneak that in there, because I don't like to just plaster giveaway anymore on the screen, because then you kind of get people that are not in our community trying to win stuff. And I'd rather give stuff away to people that have been here, that support not only myself, but you guys in the community. And that just makes my heart feel great to give back to you folks. All right, let me go switch back to the comment section. Let me see. Yeah, right. Dragon Slayer, Minuteman finally wins. Let me see. All right, D's Crafts. You see, who else do we got in here tonight? Valerie H. Congrats, winners, and thank you, Lori and GreyMan. I appreciate that. I'm going to scroll through some of you. Thank you, Gray. Fun show. I appreciate that, Seabass. Kind of scrolling through here. Good night, Jan. Busy girl. I agree. Thank you, busy girl. Let me see who else do we got in here. Interlopers. You see, Michelle, glad you're feeling better. Thank you, Michelle. I really appreciate that. Raka, hey, friend, I didn't say hello to you. B. Walker. GreyMan Prepping. Just remember, you ain't got far to walk if I win something. Agreed, South Florida. Agreed, brother. Agreed. What's up, Pure Blood? Good to see you, man. Keep clam and clam on. Roger that, brother. Man, you have a memory like an elephant. Who else do we got in here? Sarah said, draw again. I'm in France. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right. Sorry about that. So, folks, we're going to draw one more time. We do have 87 entries. Did everybody take off yet? No, we still got 118 people in chat. Thank you for letting us know, Sarah. I appreciate that. So we need to draw one more time because Sarah's in France. Thank you, Sarah, for being honest. I appreciate that. So we got one more winner. Who is it going to be? I got to draw again because Snark and Substances already won one of the seed packets. So let's try it again. I like to be fair and everybody wins once. I hope everybody understands that. Thank you. Let's try this again. I'm glad I caught that before we ended the live stream. Dragon Slayer. There we go. All right, Dragon Slayer. Don't forget to send it to, I need to get rid of this, hide current comments. Make sure all the winners, please email me at graysgiveaways@gmail.com. But Dragon Slayer, congratulations. You're another person that's been following me for a really long time. Thank you for all the support throughout the years. I really appreciate you, you're reading your comments and all your support and whatnot. All right. So that is everybody. And folks, you know, I want to take a page from Alaska Prepper because sometimes I will miss the new people. And if you are new to the channel or new to at least the live stream, please let me know down in the live stream comments so I know, so I can welcome you to the Grey community. I think that's really cool that Rudy does that. And it dawned on me that sometimes I have a lot of new folks in the chat, and sometimes I miss them. So just kind of follow that whole step where Alaska Prepper says, if you're new, let us know that you're new, and I want to welcome you to the Grey family. And this is an awesome community, folks. A lot of great people with a lot of great information. We always try to have a good time and stay positive. I think I want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. Am I? Nope. Everything looks good. All right. So that's going to wrap up the live stream for this evening, folks. I want to thank every single one of you for being here. I truly appreciate your time and spending an hour with me this evening. Stay tuned. I got some videos coming out. I love when you guys drop comments. If you try to reach me, down below is all my information. If you're trying to reach me or you're ever trying to save money, I have affiliate links down below. I have my email, my P.O Box. All the ways to get a hold of me are all down below. So if you ever just want to reach out and say hello, drop a postcard in the mail or anything like that, a letter. I love those things. So that's all down below. And keep an eye out in my community tab. I post things there like when I was sick, and also things about giveaways, and sometimes I'll run polls and whatnot. But remember, folks, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in the rebound, and God bless every single one of you amazing people. Thank you and have a good night.